Your 4-year-old loses a board game and melts down completely. You say, "It's okay, you'll win next time," and he screams louder. Meanwhile, your neighbor handles the exact same situation with one sentence, and her son actually calms down. The difference? She knows a secret about how children's brains really work. These 8 responses will change how your son handles pressure for the rest of his life. Picture this. Your son spills milk at breakfast. You quickly say, "It's fine, accidents happen," but he keeps crying. Or he's scared of the tall slide at the playground. You encourage, "You're brave, just try," and he shrinks back even more. Here's the trap 90% of dads fall into without realizing it. When kids are stressed, their brains shift into survival mode. The learning center literally shuts down. We keep trying to fix their emotions instead of teaching them how to process those big feelings. That approach backfires every single time, but there's a different way. 8 simple responses that work with your child's developing brain instead of against it. I call them the Inner Strength 8. You don't need extra time or special tools. You just need to swap your natural reactions for these science-backed alternatives. Within 24 hours, you'll see your son stay calmer when things go wrong. These aren't parenting tips you add to your day. They're reflexes that replace the ones that aren't working. We'll cover borrow my calm, brave over perfect, and truth safe home. You'll mess up and forget sometimes. That's actually part of the process. Let's start with the most important one. Number 1, borrow my calm. Your calm literally becomes their calm. When your child loses control, lower your voice, slow down, and get on their eye level. Mirror neurons make children copy your nervous system state. Their stress hormone cortisol drops within 90 seconds when you co-regulate with them. Picture your 3-year-old having a tantrum about candy in the grocery store, lying on the floor screaming. Before, you might say, "Stop it! People are looking! Get up right now!" Instead, sit down next to him and say, "I see you're really upset about the candy. Your feelings are big right now. I'm going to sit here with you." The tantrum that used to last 15 minutes now lasts 3. More importantly, your son learns to self-soothe instead of depending on you to fix everything. Once your child can borrow your calm, they're ready for the next step. Number 2, name it kid version. Name the feeling to tame the feeling. When your child has big emotions, put simple words to what they're experiencing. Say, "You feel," and wait for them to confirm it. Labeling emotions activates their thinking brain and calms their emotional brain. Scientists call this the "name it to tame it" effect. Your 5-year-old throws his toys because his little sister knocked down his Lego tower. Before, you might say, "Don't throw things, use your words." Instead, try, "You feel really frustrated that your tower got knocked down. Your body feels angry. Is that right?" Instead of continuing to throw things, he nods and breathes out, "Yeah, angry." He's learning to recognize his emotions instead of just acting them out. That's 2 out of 8. You're already changing how your child's brain responds to stress. But what about when they face something actually scary? Number 3, brave over perfect. Courage beats perfection every single time. Praise brave attempts instead of results. Focus on effort and strategy rather than success. Research shows that praising the process builds stronger neural pathways for willing to try instead of avoid failure. Your 4-year-old stands at the bottom of the tall slide, trembling. Before, you might say, "You're such a good climber. Just go up. It's easy." Instead, try, "I see you looking at that tall slide and feeling nervous." That takes courage just to stand here and think about it. What's your plan? Instead of running away, he says, "Maybe I climb just 2 steps first." He's willing to face challenges instead of avoiding anything difficult. And when they do make mistakes, because they will, here's what changes everything. Number 4, Repair is a superpower. But first, let me tell you what surprised me most about this next one. Fixing mistakes together builds unbreakable trust. When you lose your cool, tame it, and you will, go back and repair. Own your mistake and do it over. The rupture and repair cycle actually strengthens your relationship. Your child learns that mistakes are fixable and relationships survive conflict. You yelled at your son about the mess in the living room, then felt guilty afterward. Before, you might ignore it and pretend nothing happened. Instead, try, "Hey buddy, I yelled at you about the mess earlier. That wasn't okay. You were just playing and I was stressed about other things. Can we have a do-over?" Instead of walking on eggshells around you, he hugs you and says, "It's okay, Daddy." He's learning conflict resolution and that people can change and grow. Once repair becomes normal in your house, you can teach them about their own boundaries. Number 5. Body boundaries and consent tiny version. Their body, their choice, even with hugs. Ask permission for physical affection. Respect when they say no. Teach your son to say stop and expect it to be honored immediately. Early autonomy over their body creates the foundation for healthy boundaries later. Your son doesn't want to hug grandma when she visits. Before, you might say, "Give grandma a hug. Don't be rude." Instead, try, "Grandma would love a hug, but it's your choice. What feels good for your body right now? Maybe a high five or wave?" Instead of being forced into uncomfortable contact, he chooses to wave and smiles genuinely. He's developing body confidence and a sense of personal agency. We're halfway through. Your son is already learning emotional regulation, courage, repair, and body autonomy. But what about when life gets actually hard? Here's where problem-solving becomes play. Number 6. Problem-solving play. Turn problems into games, not lectures. When obstacles come up, ask, "What are some ideas?" instead of jumping in with solutions. Make it about curiosity, not stress. Open-ended questions activate the creative thinking networks in their brain. Your son can't reach his toy on the high shelf. Before, you might immediately help. "Here, let me get that for you." Instead, try, "That's up high. I wonder what ideas you have for reaching it. What could help you get taller?" Instead of always asking for help, he looks around and says, "Maybe this chair or this box." He's approaching challenges with curiosity instead of helplessness. Problem-solving works best in a truth-safe environment. Number 7. Truth-safe home. Make truth-telling safer than lying. When your child tells the truth about mistakes, thank them before you address the issue. Make honesty feel good, not scary. Shame triggers fight or flight and shuts down their learning brain. Your son admits to breaking something after initially saying, "I don't know how it broke." Before, you might say, "Why did you lie to me first? You're in bigger trouble now." Instead, try, "Thank you for telling me the truth. That took courage. Accidents happen. Let's figure out how to clean this up together." Instead of lying more to avoid punishment, he starts coming to you when things go wrong. He sees you as the safe person to turn to with problems. 7 down, 1 to go. And this last one might be the quiet game changer. Number 8. Marked moments. Tiny version. Tiny celebrations create lasting confidence. Notice and narrate small brave moments throughout the day. Use "I saw you" statements. Positive attention shapes neural pathways. What you focus on grows stronger in their developing brain. Your son shares his truck with his little brother without being asked. Before, you might not say anything, assuming it's normal behavior. Instead, try, "I saw you give your truck to your brother when he was sad. You noticed his feelings and wanted to help. That's the kind of person you are." Instead of not connecting with their good choices, he lights up and repeats the behavior. He's internalizing, "I am someone who helps and cares." Now let me show you what this looks like 6 months from now. Picture your 6-year-old facing a setback at school. His science project falls apart right before presentations. Instead of a complete meltdown, he takes a deep breath, borrowing the calm you've modeled hundreds of times. He says to his teacher, "I feel really frustrated, but I want to try fixing it one more time," naming his emotion and choosing brave over perfect. He comes home and tells you exactly what happened instead of hiding it, because your house is truth safe. Together, you brainstorm 3 different ways to rebuild it tomorrow. Problem solving as play, not stress. His teacher notices how he handles disappointment. Other kids are drawn to his steady confidence. That confidence builds on itself year after year. Fast forward 10 years. He's a teenager who can handle peer pressure because he knows his own mind. He's a young adult who can navigate relationships because he understands emotions and boundaries. He doesn't need you to rescue him from every challenge because you taught him to rescue himself. This isn't theory. This is brain development in real time, shaped by your daily responses to ordinary moments. I know what you're thinking, though. I already tried being patient, and it doesn't work. Here's what I want you to hear. Patience isn't the same as co-regulation. You can be patient while your own stress levels spike. Your child feels that tension. Co-regulation means actually getting calm yourself first. He's too young to understand feelings. Children understand emotions better than we think. Their brains are designed for this. A 2-year-old who can't say frustrated can still feel their body relax when you name it for them. I don't have time for all this talking. These responses actually replace time-consuming battles. The dad who used to fight for 20 minutes about putting on shoes now has a 3-minute conversation about feelings and moves on. I worked with a father who thought this was all too touchy-feely until his 5-year-old handled a playground bully perfectly. No hitting, no crying, just, "I don't like when you push me. I'm going to play somewhere else." That dad became a believer real fast. Emotional intelligence predicts life success better than IQ across every measure we have. So here's how you start. Pick just one of these 8 to focus on tomorrow. Don't try to do them all. Which one resonates most with your family? Drop a comment and let's build a community of dads who are brave enough to grow. You'll forget these responses. You'll mess up and fall back into old patterns. That's exactly how change happens. Imperfectly, gradually, with lots of practice. Your son doesn't need a perfect dad. He needs a dad who's brave enough to grow with him.